Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for North Dakota Today this morning. I'm Lisa Bedell here with Chris Berg.
Friday.
It's
sort of.
almost. A lot of people have tomorrow. We're going to have a best of show, so it's like a Friday for us. Tomorrow won't be a live North Dakota Today, and a lot of people are actually going to have the day off tomorrow. So the weekend starts this afternoon.
So you're doing what, Valley Today tomorrow?
I still work Valley today, and then I will get to leave a little bit early, and then all next week I'm off. I'm just going to be celebrating the 4th, so taking my July holiday.
Good for you.
A lot of people took it this week, and then others are taking it next week. I guess I wish I would have taken both weeks. The people who did that are the ones who are winning, and obviously the weather is really heating up too. So.
Oh my gosh! Last night, this morning, just fantastic. I went out for a walk last night, and the mosquito sprayer was out. I mean, like went right over my head. I was hoping to show you a video.
So you know now that they weren't spraying for COVID, right?
Right. That was all over social. But I mean, they're so low. You're like, oh my gosh, we're under attack by mosquitoes. But it was just, were you out at all last night?
A little bit, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Yep, I was. And actually, my daughter was like, I can hear the planes, going over for mosquito spraying. But I've noticed the bugs are getting bad, so I'm glad. It gets to be around dusk, and it's like they just want to, they carry you away. So. Oh,
I went to a buddy's house the other night, and you're kind of, sitting around, hanging out, and you don't really notice it. And then you get up the next day, and you're like, I just look like I've been chowed down on.
I know. I've been trying lots of different things, and then you have to have the afterbite. Do you have afterbite? That's to put on once you are, they get you.
I need that.
You need that.
Does it help?
It does help.
Oh,
Stops
good.
you from itching and scratching them for sure. But of course, yeah. I'm always like, oh, the bugs aren't so bad. You don't have the DEET on, and then they're there, and it's almost too late to get sprayed. But anyway. Okay, this was just spotted by our assistant news director on Facebook today. That's where we find the best stories. I don't know if you noticed this. Moorhead Mayor posted this on Facebook, Mayor Jonathan Judd. He says, if you look closely, it's a mural done in Moorhead of the Moorhead Mayor. He posted, quote, Kim Jor is a talented artist in Moorhead. I did not see this coming, but I'm honored and humbled to be one of her artistic creations. Wow. Thank you, Kim, for continuing to share your artistic talents with our community. And I can't tell exactly where she is, because now I want to go look at this. Could we just drop, I was going to say, just drop down that, right across from Dairy Queen, I'm hearing. So talk about talented, right? How beautiful is that?
That's awesome.
Moorhead and 8th Street. Super, super talented.
Congrats to Mayor Judd, and how perfect, right across from DQ. You can go over there, you can see like the Matt Cullen jersey that's at the Moorhead DQ, then bounce over and see Mayor Judd, and it's perfect.
She definitely knew where she'd have her best audience. So that's good stuff as well. And talking about it being nice outside and hot, and wanting to go to the lakes this weekend, I think everybody wants to do that. But of course, things are going to be a little bit different this year. It's not quite the same, and everybody's itching to get out, but we need to keep our distance. Anyway, Kelly Hubbard had like the best assignment all day on the Valley today. She was out on the beach, and then she was on the dock, and and it was like 72 degrees all morning. So it was absolutely beautiful. So we're going to check in with her to get an update on what you can expect if you're heading to Lakes Country for the 4th.
The lakes are going to look very different this year. An officer I spoke with at the Detroit Lakes Police Department says this year is going to be a strange one. 2020 is the first year he can recall where there is going to be no fireworks show. Now, the colorful displays may be called off, but restaurant doors will still be open. If you're venturing from the North Dakota side or need another reminder, restaurants and bars are still following Governor Tim Walz's guidelines. Zorbas told me they're one of the many enforcing a 6-foot distance. Restaurants and bars must operate at 50% capacity and not exceed 250 people for indoor and outdoor settings each. You're going to need a reservation, and masks are required for workers. If you plan on walking around to different retail shops, Governor Walz says they can operate at 50% with a COVID-19 plan in place. Becker County Sheriff Todd Glander tells me that tons of people have already made their way to Lakes Country, and there's going to be lots of traffic, so plan ahead and slow down. If you're going to be on the water, wear a life jacket and follow CDC guidelines, staying 6 feet apart. Sheriff Sheriff Glander says people have been doing a great job so far and also adds that patrols will be on the lakes in Otter Tail River this weekend. Lastly, authorities want you to keep in mind that you cannot use or possess fireworks in the state of Minnesota. If you do so, you could end up with at least a $150 fine. In Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, Callie Hubbard for North Dakota Today.
See what I mean? I was so jealous of her. Every time I checked in, I was
say.
like, how beautiful does it look on the water there?
The only thing I was waiting for there was just Callie to be like, here I am, Callie Hubbard at Detroit Lakes.
Mic
Just
drop.
do a mic drop, yeah.
The only bummer was that Zorba's wasn't properly open yet.
Oh, yeah. She'll
Yet.
hang out, though, I'm sure, exactly.
Good stuff. So, but lots of, reminders, a lot of changes, and, especially for all of us North Dakotans thinking, oh, I'm going to head on into Minnesota. You got to kind of check
point,
ahead,
yeah.
plan ahead.
Much different
'cause
over there.
Definitely things are different.
Over there, like it's
over
just
there, way
distant,
over there. If you're going way across to the other side of the Red River. I know it shouldn't be that different, but it is. Okay, I found this super interesting today as well. A new survey came out, and we talked about this a lot. Being stuck at home, was it good for your relationship? Bad for your relationship? All day long with your kids, with your husband.
What do you have here? Complicated?
Complicated pandemic relationships. So a new survey now has gotten the answers about whether or not those stay-at-home orders were good or bad for your love life. Chris Pallone has our story.
For millions of Americans, the COVID-19 era ushered in another unexpected time, being at home with spouses, significant others, and children all day, every day. It's been enough to put even the strongest relationships to the test.
Given the amount of hours that professionals are now spending with their spouses or their significant others, it's almost expected that this would come up.
The networking app Fishbowl asked more than 16,000 professionals, how has working from home affected your romantic relationship? And the results were pretty interesting. 29% said work from home had a positive impact on their relationship. 17% said it strained it. And 7% said it led to a breakup or a divorce.
We were happy and enthusiastic there, happy to see that 29% actually said it had a positive impact on the relationship.
In my practice, we're seeing several couples breaking up.
Psychologist Ann Sullivan says for couples that didn't make it, stay-at-home revealed mismatched values. For the others, communication might be the key to staying together.
I think we need to be able to communicate about what we need.
That might mean asking for time to be alone or for a date night without the kids. Sullivan says try to focus on things which make you grateful and realize that everyone is handling this in their own way.
So we have to just understand that there's going to be this range of emotions, and that is okay.
COVID has given us another reminder, which is how important life is and how important it is to take that time when you get it.
It will be some time before we know the effect that coronavirus truly had on our romantic relationships, but so far, the prognosis is good. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
I found that funny, a deep dive into, how being quarantined with our spouses actually did. When they broke it down even more, Fishbowl says by state to see working at home, how it affected relationships in Colorado. Apparently, they loved it. 35% said it was
nice.
good for their relationship. At first, when I heard that, I was thinking, well, you have the mountains, you go
was
hiking,
thinking the same
you
thing.
love Colorado. New York had the biggest negative response, 29%, but
They've been though in serious lockdown. I think when you live in New York, you're so used to being socially, you're crammed into this little tiny island, right? So you're so used to being around people, and then not to be able to be there, it's got to be really frustrating.
And the state with the biggest divorce or breakup was Arizona, which also kind of surprised me because I thought, well,
Yeah.
Colorado, you'd be outside, Arizona, you'd be outside. So, yeah, I don't know, but,
Maybe it's too hot in Arizona for some people.
could be. It makes you kind of crabby. All right, stay with us. Coming up next here on North Dakota Today, we have some tasty cocktails for your 4th of July barbecue.